Hey, it's been a while, but welcome back to Lounging with Lisette. Number 3, I guess. It's been a while since since I've posted anything, but man, life has been crazy. So the last time I posted was the 19th of April. It is May 1st today. That was on a Friday. The next day was Saturday, the 20th, and I decided to go to the beach before going to work. So I did that, and I decided to do a podcast. My audio kind of got ruined because you couldn't hear me. You just heard ocean in the background. I've been trying. So yeah, I am going to see you in the next one. I'm going to enjoy this tan, and I hope you guys have a great day. Peace. I don't know how to fix it, but I think I'm just losing that episode. But yeah, I was just sitting on the beach, and I think that one was about 40 something minutes, so I might just yap about that topic again, but not this time. I kind of want to catch you up with life. Like, why has it been almost like 3 weeks since I posted anything? That following day, so I had work like normal at CVS. I worked the afternoons. Then the following day, I worked with my special needs woman, and we were doing multiple things. We went to SeaWorld. At the end of the night, we decided to go swimming because it was still pretty warm, and the community she lives in has a heated pool, so why not go to a warm pool? So throughout the night, when I'm with the special needs woman, mom, and other caretakers are not in the house, they're usually like taking a nap, or they've gone to go grocery shopping or to work or anything in between. So I'm usually alone with the special needs woman. So I love animals so much. And since I was a kid, in my hometown, in my pool, if I seen insects that were suffering because they landed in the pool or anything else, I would take them out of the pool and just say sweet things. I'm like, oh, here you go. Make sure you dry off before you fly off or anything else. I know, I sound like an insane person. So I do that often, very often. I can't remember one time I didn't do that. Like, anytime I'm near a pool or anything else and I see it, I scoop the insect out and put it to the sun where there's other greenery and stuff like that. Hopefully they can get food and dried off and they survive another day. So this time I was in the pool, so I needed to scoop the bee out and just put it onto the cement because it was nighttime. It'd been a lot easier, especially since in the pool area it was just me and the special needs woman. However, this is my very first time getting stung by a bee, and man, did it hurt. I got upset. I was like, oh no, I got stung. First of all, freaking out through my head because I've never been stung. I'm not sure if I'm allergic. I'm currently not allergic to anything to my knowledge, but if I've never been stung by a bee, then there's no way of knowing. So I just felt the bee sting, and the whole thing was there, and I'm like, oh snaps, I need to get this thing out of me, and just low-key freaking out. And in my mind, I'm like, I need to get her out of the pool and into the house so I can find some tweezers and take it out. And one of her conditions, she's not able to transition very swell. So sometimes from her bedroom to the bathroom, she'll stay into her bathroom for too long, and then she'll get upset that she's leaving the bathroom even though she wants to. When we go out to outings and stuff like that, and we're trying to get her back into the house, I'd be like, do you still want to be out here? She'll shake her head no. Do you want to go inside? She'll shake her head yes or say yes. And I said, okay, then let's come in. And then she refuses to come in. It's very hard she does get allowed in verbal in transactions like that, or transitions, not transactions. And so in this time, I knew she was gonna be difficult in the sense of I'm trying to rush, trying to keep my patience, trying not to freak out, and yeah, basically all of that in once, and try to get her out of the pool into, like, we walk from the pool to her house and get her into the house. That's the steps I need to get to, even before taking the bee stinger off of me. So thank goodness I got all that through. I did have some difficulties, but I reasoned with her like, hey, I did just get stung by a bee. Can you please get out of the pool? Please, let me get you a towel. We'll get some food afterwards. You know, just trying to speak sweet pleasure words so I can get her motivated to move. Once I did get into the house and she did go to the restroom so that she can change out of her swimwear, I kid you not, I ravished all through mom's house to look for some tweezers, and thank goodness she came into the household when I was looking for it with still the stinger in my head. So like maybe 20 minutes now into it, she like ran upstairs and got some tweezers for me and took it out for me. I was like trying again not to freak out because she is my boss. I'm like, I've never been stung by a bee. Like, is there any protocols? I know a lot of people get the stinger stuck in there. You can like take the poison out. Like, I don't want to die. And so she took the stinger out, and that was fine. She did let me go home right after, because again, I was low-key freaking out, but trying to keep my my chill. So the following day, I do work in the pharmacy. The following like next few days, but I did have a swollen finger at that time. It was my middle finger too, so that was excellent. So I still went into work, everything else, like it wasn't in pain, it was just inconvenient because it swelled up. I did read that like for swelling, it's gonna swell for like 2 to 3 days, and and I did talk to my pharmacist, and he says if it's itchy or anything else, get Benadryl, like cream. And so luckily for me, it didn't bother me anymore, which is inconvenient that my finger was like swollen. Then the following week, again, it went back down Wednesday or Thursday, so I wasn't stressing about it. I went back to my regular like shifts or everything else. And Saturday comes back now, and I'm in my afternoon shift, and I was moments from not wanting to go because I personally hate working in the front of the storefront, and I just rather be in the pharmacy. And especially that day, it was nice and sunny, and I'm like, I really wish I went to the ocean. And I was actually on the phone with my brother, like, oh, should I just go and visit with you guys? Since my brother had the day off as well. And I chose to go to work not even an hour in my shift. I started getting like itchy in that same middle finger. And you know, if your body gets itchy, you just scratch it and then you just go back to life. Like, it's not a big deal. But for some reason, I was like hyper focused. I'm like, why? Like, this is my 3rd or 4th time scratching my hand. Like, so I look and I start seeing a red rash onto my finger, and I'm like, oh, this is not the first time it's happened. A previous time I was feeling under the weather, and when I'm under the weather, I tend to wear a mask to cover my face, because when I'm under the influence, under the weather, I don't want to accidentally sneeze or cough and get onto the customers. So I'll wear a facial mask to cover my mouth. However, one of the times I did get a rash all over my cheeks. Once I took off the mask, it went down. So I thought it was one of those situations. So I'm like, oh, let me just throw a glove on and see if my manager has any like Claritin or any allergy medicine. so I don't have to purchase any because I have some at home. It's just I didn't have any at work. So the only one we had was Benadryl, and Benadryl is drowsy, and I was maybe an hour into my 8-hour shift, so I was like, nah, I won't take it. But I did get the Benadryl cream because that's something my manager did, or my pharmacist mentioned, so I decided to put some of that. Then the rash turned into swelling again, but painful swelling this time. Like, it was very inconvenient.
Look at that. What the fuck?
The itching got so bad that I felt like I just needed to like munch on that. Like, it was like the itching was so bad, like it felt like it was internal. So yeah, it was really bad. Luckily for me, I was ranting to one of my coworkers at the time, or still my coworker, and she's such a sweetheart. She decided to text one of our coworkers, and that coworker's like, yeah, I'll come in and cover the rest of your shift. I'm like, yes. So I found a replacement, let my manager know. And then once I left work, I had to like go to the pharmacist again and make sure like, hey, this is getting worse. What do you recommend? So Benadryl cream, sleep on it, and make sure I have some food in me in case it is painful, certain amount of ibuprofen and such. I get home maybe about 7:30. Like, I worked until 7, so my shift was 2 to 10:30, and I worked all the way to 7. So that's how much I was like, didn't want to leave work, because I don't leave work. But I was in such pain. Not even pain yet, because the next day was rough. But like such inconvenience, like in just like needing to itch it off. Like at this point, cut it off. Not really. So I go to sleep, I pass out. And my alarm is set every single day for 8 o'clock in the morning to go and wake up. Like, that's my, like, waking up. If I have a shift earlier, then I'll put an alarm earlier. But 8 o'clock is my designated time to wake up in case I do have time off. Or, like, I don't have shift till 2. I will be waking up at 8 or earlier. I wake up at 10:10 exactly with pain. When I tell you, my middle finger was so swollen, so red, so straight. Like, I was in agony in the sense of if my finger decided to swell just a little bit, I felt like it would explode. I was freaking out. One of my best of friends is a technician in the pharmaceuticals, so I was like messaging him, and I'm like, what do I do? Like, is there anything? Like, I know you're not a pharmacist, like you can't tell me anything, but can you give me some guidance? He's like, you should get that checked out. I'm like, yes, thank you. So I went to check my insurance and what is covered, but the things I had covered were closed on Sunday. It's now currently Sunday. Ooh, reminder, once I got off of work, I messaged my job for the next day, because I start in the mornings, usually on Sundays, that this happened, and I'm not sure, like, what's gonna happen, like, if I can start later in the day. She's like, yes, if you need to take time off, like, just let me know. That's for the special needs woman. So, love, Mom, in that case. But yeah, so swollen, dying. I checked my app trying to find a clinic. Then the clinics were closed, so then I went to make a doctor's appointment. And again, this was a week after the 20th, so the 27th. So yeah, 27th. And I could not find anyone. No doctor's appointment until May 7th. Like, it's May 1st. I still have a week until I could have had an appointment 2 weeks ago or a week ago, whatever it was. So, again, freaking out. Then I'm like, CVS has clinics as well. At this point, I'm not thinking, I'm like, I will book anything because this is going to explode, and like, this looks serious in this case. But not serious enough where I need to go to the ER, because I know the expenses of ERs like just to get a bed is gonna be over $200. So I'm like, I'd rather go to the clinic and see if I could have a specialist, like a small specialist, look at it or something. Like, I had no idea what it was, because first I thought it was just a rash, and then it literally swelled up and was irritating as much as possible. So yeah, I decided to actually, so Saturday, sorry, before I continue, I was freaking out when it was swelling that it may be the bee sting again, because the same finger is the bee sting. So I, at one of the my parking spot before going in, I decided to get like my Swift Army knife and pick at the like area that I got stung, to triple check that I don't have a stinger in there, because it could be maybe the stinger or whatever else. But I did not see anything, and then I did rip a hole into my finger. Not enough for it to bleed, but enough for it to, like, right now it's still healing, and it's been a while. So now Sunday, I'm looking at my CVS app, looking for minute clinics, and everything. My job is booked up, and all these other things are booked up, besides one in Santee. And again, I woke up at 10:10. It's been like 5 to 7 minutes, like around like 15 to 17, like 10, 15, 5, 10, 17. And the nearest time is at 10:40. And I'm like, I booked it. I'm like, yes. And then I'm like, wait, I currently don't live in Santee, so I have to drive about 20 minutes to get there. I just woke up, so I don't have a brushed teeth. I don't have brushed hair. I don't have like anything besides PJs on. Like, and I have to drive there with my fingers swollen. So don't ask me how I got to brush my hair, put like deodorant, and get everything done to get there. And I got there right on time. As soon as I parked my car and digitally checked in, I walked to the back of the store, and they like opened the door calling my name. They're like, Lisette, and I'm like, that's me. And oh man, I'm not gonna say it was a waste of money, but man, I wish I just went to my pharmacist at this point. But again, freaking out, going insane, and I feel it throbbing at this point, and I'm just like trying to keep my cool and not freak out. So I go and sit down. She's like, I see that you don't have insurance on here. Like, what's your insurance? I'm like, this is my insurance, but I know it doesn't get covered by you guys. Like, I used to have CVS, like, coverage, but I've moved recently to this. And they're like, yeah, it won't be covered. I'm like, it's fine. Like, I'm literally just concerned about this finger. Like, I don't know what's going on. And so, she, like, touches it and everything else. And I'm literally, like, trying to bite my tongue. I'm like, dude, this hurts. And she asked me questions, and I let her know about the bee sting and the rest of the story, basically. And basically she's like, no idea what it could be. Let me get you antibiotics in case it's an infection, but ice it. That's literally all she said. Ice it and maybe get some like Benadryl cream, which I have been putting because that's what my pharmacist told me. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. So she gave me the antibiotics at that pharmacy, but I'm like, you know what? I literally work at a pharmacy. Let me transfer it to mine and talk to my pharmacist. So I drive from that CVS to the one I work at, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness, it's my favorite pharmacist. He knows who he is. He was there yesterday when I was on shift about like literally it happening. So he was on every step of the way. And then he saw my face. He was on the phone. He asked like whoever he was on, like if he could put him on hold, and walks to like me. He's like, what's going on? Like, have you got better? Like, tell me what the deets. And I was like, it got worse. And then I like explained afterwards everything, and he would like looked up my script and everything else, and he's like, it's an antibiotic, like I don't think it's an infection, like da 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 da. And then he just examined it a little bit more, and then he's like, okay, get this cream for me, this one, and then we'll get the antibiotics just in case it is. It's good to have in case you do end up having an infection or anything else. let me throw a coupon on there. I'm like, yes, GoodRx. So, again, to my pharmacist, my prescription was like $40 out of pocket, and then adding the GoodRx coupon he found for me, it ended up being like 14 and some change. I was like, I feel so taken care of. And then they're all my coworkers, so I was just like sobbing. I'm like it's Sunday. He's like, well, you gotta make sure you get better because you have shift tomorrow. I'm like, you know it. I won't disappoint you. So, at this point, I'm like, okay, let me take some Zyrtec. Let me take some, like cream, not Benadryl, but the, cortisone, because that's like a steroid kind of level stuff. So, that I did the ice remedy, and I still went to work with the special needs woman afterwards. Luckily for me, it's back to normal, but it took about 2 to 3 extra days to get back to normal. I think it was not today, because today's Wednesday, but last Wednesday is when my finger decided, hey, we're back to normal. At one point, I was so frustrated with my middle finger because it was still swollen, and whenever like I touched my like computer or anything else, because it's a touchscreen, no keyboard, I would like use my index finger, but sometimes also use my like pointer finger, or my index and my ring, or my middle finger, and I'm like hurting. So I don't have tape in the pharmacy, so I had 2 band-aids like in a circle to stitch these 2 together. So I would like just have it like this, and then I would like point gun to like use that as my like writing and stuff, and I would be so irritated, like it may like hit something and then I feel it hurt, and I'm like, oh, like it's so tedious, like, oh my goodness. But yeah, that's something that just recently happened. I'm like, luckily it's back to normal. My shifts didn't really change, besides that little bit I took off on Sunday. And yeah, craziness in that point. We are just there. But okay, so today is Wednesday the 1st. Yesterday, well, do I have anything for this last weekend? Oh yeah. Okay, so Wednesday my finger's getting normal, and like I'm back to normal and stuff, and I'm like, okay, let me get my chores done, because I haven't done lots of chores and I'm slacking off. You know, I shouldn't slack off. I've been busy with my finger, and busy with like 7 things going on at once in life. So I'm like, okay, let me do that. So I FaceTime my brother, and he's like, yeah, like make sure it's clean. I'm coming this Saturday. I'm like, no, like don't come right now. Like it's super dirty. Like I would be embarrassed, and I was embarrassed when my brother came. I'm like, don't do it. He's like, it just gives you encouragement to clean. I'm like, it's true. I did clean before he even got here, and I was still embarrassed. Anyways, I don't want to out myself in those things. So he came Friday night after I got off of work, and yeah, we had so many side quests. It was funny. So Friday night he comes by, and it's like maybe like 11 o'clock, almost midnight at this point, and I made pasta for us to eat, and so we decided to eat and everything else, and then I drank. He drank some with me as well. I'm not sponsored, but Nectar Hard Seltzer. I love Nectar. I currently have like a box in my mini fridge. I drank a box with my brother in town for the weekend, and I have 2 currently sitting on my mini fridge. Like, Nectar Hard Seltzer. I got to meet one of the owners, Jeremy, at the Costco here in San Diego. I got to like dab him up too. It was just a fun time. Awesome. I got some stickers also. My stickers are on my water bottle, but that's in my car. But those are my favorite hard seltzers. And I'm just gonna at him right here, like Jeremy Kim. And yeah, I just really love those hard seltzers. They're like very tasty. And then my personal favorite liquor would be tequila. I love tequila. So I have also some cut waters. I don't have as many cut waters as I do have nectars, but those are my other ones. Cut water. I love those things. Ooh, one of my best friends, me and him, have cut waters, and that's how we know we're not gonna remember the night. Like that's the best way to have it, you know. So the tequila margarita, in case you were wondering which flavor, but yeah. So I also had I currently have some Jello shots in my fridge also and stuff, because I recently made some, and my brother had like maybe 2 nectars, half the cut water, and a Jello shot. I had like 5 Jello shots, 3 nectars, 1.5 tequila cut waters. And by the end of the night, I decided to watch Cat in the Hat, which is my favorite film. And man, did I love it. My brother was very surprised that I can basically say the whole film again. Yeah, it was a fun old time. And the following day, I woke up at 6:30 in the morning. Well, my little brother was dragging his feet at like 9 still. And I'm like, how do you sleep in? Like, I'm usually up by 8, but I was like super excited because I had my brother here. So, yeah, it was crazy. So at 6 in the morning, I didn't want to make a lot of noise, and I knew my car needed maintenance because it just told me that I needed an oil change. So I'm like, copy, let me go onto my website so I can schedule an oil change. And I got the nearest like appointment. I think it was like 10 o'clock or 10:30. And so I got off at like 9 something. I'm like, hey, I have an appointment at this time to get an oil change. Luckily the place allows me to get Ubers that from there too, like they cover up to like $10. So I'm like, if you can't pick me up, then I'll go in Uber. And they're like, nah, like I'll just follow you. I'm like, okay, I'm getting ready right now, like I'm gonna be heading out. So we both head out. I drop off my car, and then he was hungry. I was kind of hungry too, so we decided to go get some food. But when we're in San Diego, because my brother doesn't live in San Diego, I only do, and I love San Diego so very much. I'm like, we need to go somewhere with a view. There has to be. So at this point, we're in La Mesa, and I'm like, where is the best place for a view right now? And we have hot food, so we don't want to go super far. I was like, what's the vibe? Like, what are you feeling? Like, the last few times we were in La Jolla, I love, like, looking at the ocean. However, I like Cato Sessions. I like going to Torrey Pines. I like going to Sunset Cliffs. Like, there's so many different areas here in San Diego that have beautiful views. And I'm like, wait, I haven't shown you this one. Stunning. So we head to this mountain up the hill. I will gatekeep this location. Oh my goodness, wasn't it stunning? It was beautiful. So right here is the video that like I took. It is just 360 view of San Diego. Toodaloo. Go, do a flip. Beautiful, especially at this time with all the spring wildflowers, the greenery. I am obsessed with it right now, and it was stunning. And me and my brother had a small deep talk in there, just again from last video, like we have different points of views. And I recently talked to one of my friends about their point of view. So there's this that's like put this like in the order of importance. So it was like health, love, money, and happy. 4 options, and put that in the list. My friend and I had we had nothing, I think, in the same spots. Like, not one. Like, the closest thing we had, like, to it was, like, money, because money was, like, I think number 2 on his list or something like that. And then mine was number 1. And it was crazy because I mentioned it to my brother about, like, the opinion my friend had about it, and he had the same ideas as my friend. And I was like, wait, how do you and him have the same ideals? Like, and I'm, like, polar opposite completely. Like, it doesn't make sense. But again, everyone, to each their own. But I did, like, we just did conversate. Like, again, I'm not going to fight you against it. Like, that's your importance in your life, and that's how it's going to be. But, like, having those options first, like, this is how I think of it. Like, that's why it's an importance. And my friend admitted I was right. I know. But there was some points that my brother did, like, discuss with me that made me, like, oh, like, you're right. But I'm more right. So, yeah, that was a good little, like, conversation. We were on a mountain. And then afterwards, I believe my oil change was, like, done. Like, contacted us. So we headed back to, we headed back so that I can get my car. Afterwards, we were going to focus on getting my house right, basically, in the sense of, like, doing small, like, chores or whatever else. So I went to go and get some, like, cleaning supplies, because I do have cleaning supplies, but, you know, just get up to date or whatever else, just a few more. Like, I didn't have a duster, so, like, I got a duster and a few other things. And so when we got home, we just basically examined my place. Like, okay, what is the things that we need to work on the most? So in my house, now it's changed, but I recently changed my layout myself, in the sense of I had furniture I didn't want no more, so I got rid of it. The last time my parents were in SoCal, my parents were helping my brother move in January, and I had furniture that my brother left with me that I didn't want anymore. And I guess he didn't want it either. So I'm like, I don't want it. Please, like, either you take it or get rid of it. And so my parents took it, and I moved furniture from my room out here to replace that furniture. And I never got anything to replace what was in my room, which was, like, a dresser. And that was January. So I just basically had a couch, because I had a couch in my room, filled with just clothes, because I didn't have a dresser in my room no more. And I kept looking at IKEA or Target or Walmart or Lowe's. Like, I was just looking at different things. Like, Lowe's for wood. Like, hey, maybe I should build it. Bad idea. Bad idea. No, don't have me do things. I am, especially with this last project I had, I am not good with my tools. And with that being said, like, my brother and I were like, ooh, you need to get a dresser. Like, you need to get something for your clothing. That's, like, the biggest, like, thing. And so we're like, you're right. You are so right. So we decided to go and shop. So we're like, okay, let's go. Like, let's do it. So I went to IKEA, because that's my go-to place for, like, furniture. And I found something that was, like, alright. Like, it wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it was something, like, okay. But it was, like, a little bit over what I wanted for budgeting. So the dresser I wanted was out of stock. It was $200. I think it was, like, $250. And I was like, dang it, like, they're not going to have it. It's, like, not anywhere. And that's why I've been procrastinating to get it, because that's what I wanted. And I just couldn't find it anywhere like it. Like, it was best functioning for me. So I went to IKEA and checked it out again, and they didn't have it. So I found something that was quite like it, but it wasn't exactly. So I was like, that's fine. However, it was like $300. I'm like, an additional $50 for something like I didn't even really want. So my brother and I decided to we grabbed the cart, we put the stuff in the car, and we're heading to checkout. And I'm like, okay, let's head by the clearance, because I love seeing IKEA clearance. I might not buy anything, but I just love seeing it. I did last time. I went with my brother to IKEA, and I bought something for my shoes. I'm like, dude, I have, that's where they have the heat. And on our way to the clearance, we saw, this closet with a mirror on it. And my brother, as the bodybuilder he is, started flexing on that. And I'm like, dude, that looks so cool. Then we saw the price tag. It was only $200. I'm like, we both, basically talked to each other, telepathically. And we're like, bro, let's get it. So we're, looking for the numbers. I took a picture of the tag. I went on the computers to see what aisle to get it and everything else. Sold out. This was now Saturday. Sold out. We're like, no. And I'm like, $200, so that saves me $50 from my original price. Saves me $100 from what I was trying to get as a replacement. And I'm like, this is beautiful. We talked to the guy. He's like, we may get something on Monday. Again, today's Saturday. And I'm like, oh, we have to wait till then. But I'm like, I'm sold. It's beautiful. I might send you put a photo of it. And we're like, okay, we're gonna get that. We're planning okay, when should he come back to help me, because I'm not very in the sense able to carry heavy things. I worked at Amazon. I can't carry heavy things if I wanted to. But it's just difficult, moving it from my car all the way into my apartment, up some steps, and then putting it together. I was like, sheesh. So I was like, okay, whatever, that's fine. So this is the funniest part. So in IKEA, we leave IKEA with some ice cream cones, because obviously I love ice cream. That's my favorite dessert, right next to creme brulee. So from there, we get into the car, and then he's like, wow, that's a big Costco, because from IKEA, there's Costco. And I'm like, yeah, that's the Costco I met, the person from Nectar. I was seeing that. He's like, oh, that looks so big. Do you need anything from Costco? I'm like, actually, yeah, I need to go grocery shopping. So I'm driving out of the parking, spot that we parked at. I go maybe one aisle, and, right where we were parked to get into Costco, we were dying, because we literally didn't have to get in the car or move it, but we were just discussing. We get into the car, we're talking about Costco, we're getting in the traffic, we just do a roundabout, and we're like, you know what, let's find parking. We parked. Literally dying in the car for 5 minutes, and then decided to go in. That's where I got another Nectar, got a support Nectar hard seltzer. No weird aftertaste. And I got some other things for meal prep and some produce. Then the whole time I'm trying to convince my brother to go to the beach. Let's go to the beach. Let's go. I love the beach. He's like, no, but we need to get stuff done. I'm like, I know we need to get stuff done, but let's go to the beach, please. We didn't go to the beach. So me and my brother were talking about the chicken and waffles. I've mentioned it before. And I have waffles at my house now. Long story. And so I love Dave's hot chicken. Mentioned that before too. And so we went to Costco. We had ice cream. And I'm like, you know what? Let's get Dave's hot chicken so we can have some chicken and waffles at home. We'll get a tender and a slider, or 2 tenders or whatever. We'll use one of the tenders for the meat for chicken and waffles. And then we can eat the other one since we're hungry right now. So I drive all the way to Mira Mesa to get chicken and tenders, because that's my favorite one. The one in Mira Mesa, it might be a small drive, but I feel that's the best one. That's the one I always go to. I used to live in El Cajon, right by the other one. That one's my second favorite one. I'm not a big PB one fan, but it's right by the beach, so it's fine. But that's the only one that has the slushy, and I love the slushies. Anyways, so we go to Dave's Hut. Then my brother's like, I have this gift card. Let's go to Starbucks. I'm like, yes, I need caffeination. I run on caffeine. And yes, I need coffee. So I go and get coffee. He doesn't know what to order because he doesn't usually he's not a coffee drinker. I literally drink 4 espresso shots. So if that doesn't tell you anything, I don't have anything else to say. So he's not really into that. I'm like something more lighter. So we talked to the barista. For some reason, the barista's like talking to us, which I'm a fan of. But I'm like, that's so random. Like, she just talked about like random stuff. And I'm like, wow, another yapper around here. So we get our Starbucks. Our food gets ready at the same time. We eat and have the leftovers to come back home. After Dave's Hut, we come back home. And we start just sitting and yapping. Like, we just had Dave's Hut. I'm convincing him to go. Even the barista's like, you should go to the beach. It's such a lovely day. I'm like, I'm saying this. So we come back home because my brother's convincing me that we should clean the house and get stuff together. Like, at least move my, like, clothes, like, and figure out where I'm going to put the closet this coming up week. And when am I free to go to check it out? So we get home, nothing but yapping. I think we started cleaning just a little bit, and then my brother's like, you know what? We should get us some like drinks in us, get more motivated and stuff. We start drinking, starts yapping just about all the side quests and everything else, and then we start getting hungry again, and this is time for the chicken and waffles. So I'm usually the one who cooks when my brother's around, because I like my food a certain way, if I may say. And honestly, my brother cooks all the time, meal preps, but his is like meat and rice. I'm like, bro, that's not how you live life. Like, you need some seasoning in your life or something. So I decide, he decides, he's like, oh, you do the dishes while I clean, or like while I make food. I'm like, say less. So he grabs my toaster, and when he puts the waffles in so it gets toasted and it's not going down. And I'm like, how the freak are you not toasting? Like, how are you not toasting? Like, push button down, toaster works, bings up when done. Like, it's not easy. So I'm like, no way you're struggling on the toaster. Like, no way. Again, he's my little brother, so there is a way. So I go and I push it. My toaster's broken. I'm like, what did you do? Like, it literally worked the other day. Like, what do you mean? Because I always love avocado toast. And, like, anytime I have bread, it has to be toasted. Like, I can't, like, even with hot dogs, I toast my hot dog buns before putting, like, my hot dog, linguiça, or whatever else, meat. Like, I can't have untoasted, like, bread. Like, I'm not a fan. So, I'm like, no way. So, it worked when you just, like, left the handle down. But as soon as you, like, put it up, it binged up. So now my brother is twiddling his thumbs, just pushing the button and waiting for the the waffle to, like, toast up. And I'm like, W day. So, we eat the chicken and waffles. And I'm like, gosh, like, I gotta go now buy, like, this toaster. Like, dude, goodness gracious. So I throw away the toaster. I check cheapest toaster I could find, Walmart. Walmart's not closed yet. I say, side quest. And we go to Walmart. We go to Walmart. We just buy the toaster. Dude, another, like, customer service woman just starts yapping about us about random stuff, because we're just looking through the aisles trying to find the toaster in the home, and then we find it, and there's, like, a lady blocking the toasters because, like, she's putting, like, new tags or something like that, and no reason. I'm like, oh, that's the toaster I used to have, because I guess I got it at Walmart previous too. I don't know where I buy things. And so I'm like, oh wait, but this one's like cheaper. Should I get that one since this one broke pretty quick? Like I had it for less than a year and it already broke. So should I get the cheaper one so I could replace it? Maybe it'll last longer. Like talking to my brother, she's like, oh, if you get this one will last longer than this one, the one I was talking about. So she was commenting about it. But then she also said, but I don't really know. I don't use a microwave or toaster. The only way, like, I cook my food is in this, like, wooden stove, like, and I'm like, she just yappy. Did not comment to her at all. And my brother, like, is literally dying next to me because I'm in the middle between that customer service and my brother. And he's, like, inching away, trying not to burst laughing. And then I hear him and see him trying not to burst laughing. So now I'm trying not to laugh and burst. And also not trying to be rude. So I'm going like, oh, shit, that's crazy. Oh, yeah, like, that's good for you. You know, whatever I could say to get her to stop talking. Because we're about to, like, just start laughing. And I grab the toaster and just start, like, we leave as soon as we turn the corner from the aisle, start bursting out laughing, and then just, like, talking about how surreal that was. Like, that's so random. And he's like, I never have incidents like this. I'm like, bro, it happens to me all the time. Like, just people just wanting to talk. And I'm like, I'm a yapper, so I, like, go into it too. But I'm like, it's always those situations. And so we go into the lines, and I personally hate the self-service ones because now there's, like, people at all the self-service, so it's, like, half the self-checkout. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just go to this one real quick. So luckily the person was just leaving, so it was clearing out. Put the toaster down. I go to pay for it and stuff like that. And then the cashier puts a sticker that says heavy on it. I'm like, what the fuck is a toaster? So now we leave, and I'm like, oh man, like, you have to carry it now. It's heavy. You see, she got the sticker on there. And she puts a sticker that says heavy on it. It's literally a toaster. So we're laughing, and then I just talk about a few incidents that happened to this Walmart that I've had encounters with. I come back home, and then we start yapping again. And then we just start talking about the fact that we got nothing done besides side chat, like quests. Like, I got some groceries, I got a toaster. That's literally what we got done today. And I'm like, and a good view. And so he felt bad because he was supposed to come and help me, like, clean. That's what his, like what he wanted to do. And I'm like, nah, it's fine. Like, I feel bad for him to come to my house and help me clean. Like, it's literally not your mess. So he's like, I'm going to stay a little bit later after you go to work so that I can, like, clean. Like, I guess, but, you know, make sure you eat some food. Like, my food is your food. Like, da-da-da-da. And so we're texting throughout the day because I'm with my special needs woman. And I'm at SeaWorld, about to get onto Shipwreck, onto this, like, water ride. And I'm like, you know what, let me check IKEA, like, so I can get the name for, like, the shelf and make sure, like, what the sizing is. Maybe I can have my brother, like, see where we would put it or whatever else. And I checked the inventory, and they had it in stock. Very next day. I'm like, side quest after work. So I go to the, like, make sure it's the correct one in the correct store, and I buy it online. It's like, oh, you can pick it up. So I could have picked it up at, like, 3 o'clock, but I was still on shift or with my job. So I was like, I called my brother as soon as I bought it, and I'm like, hey, like, I can, like, or I text him, and then he calls me. He's 20 minutes out of San Diego heading home, and he's like, I just saw your text. What is it about? Because there's a picture he's driving. And then he's like, you got the shelf? And I'm like, yeah, I got the closet. Like, it's here. Like, I'll pick it up after work. He's like, you can't lift it by yourself. I'm like, I can try. Like, I have a wagon. I got this. He's like, nah, I'm going. I'm like, okay, that's fine, but I'm still at work, so enjoy your day. So he went to the beach and stuff, and went to the gym here with a beach view, and I'm like, out here like, dang, like I wish I was you right now. Like I wish I was at the beach. So I get off a shift, and luckily my job's right by IKEA. So he was leaving Belmont Park, and so we were like, oh, we'll meet at IKEA. So I get to IKEA, and then I like check in, like, oh, I'm here, I'm on this space number or whatever else, and then the guy goes, hey, do you need help loading? I'm like, hell yeah, like go for it, let's work for my brother. So me and him load the car up with the stuff, and then I'm still waiting for my brother. I literally go and get some ice cream again. And then we sit in my car, eat some ice cream, and then we head back home. And this is where it gets all like messed up. So we pick up my shelf about 7 o'clock. I'm like, dang, second time I don't go to the beach, and here you are enjoying San Diego. Jealous. Anyways, now it's Sunday afternoon. I'm like, I don't have shift until like later. I think it's 1 o'clock on Mondays. With my special needs, I'm usually there at 9, but because mom's like, I already have someone coming early in the morning, you don't have to come this Monday. I'm like, yes, I have more time with my brother. So we get the shelf, and then we take it out of the car, we get it into the house, we get some grub in us, and then we're like, okay, we gotta start getting stuff together, gotta get stuff together. So we grab the shelf, we move it to my room, and my brother is the person that knows more tools. Like, I know tools, but I don't think I'm that good at it. Like, there's a few things I helped with, but there's a lot of things I was frustrated with. So my brother's like, I think since I don't have the biggest room and I don't have a lot of space because I have clothes everywhere at this point, he's like, I'll do that, you clean around the house. So I started cleaning around the house, and I see him like doing things. I'm like, do you need help with anything? He's like, no, we're good. And he got like 2 or 3 parts, and I started helping him like on his like thing, because I saw piece after piece, like, because he had to open like all 3 big boxes. So I'm like, okay, let me help him now. And we had to redo the same piece like 3 or 4 times because I got confused and then he got confused. And dude, IKEA furniture got us mixed up a few times. Again, we're not the best at it, so it was really fun. We were like dying of like tiredness, so we went to sleep maybe like 1 in the morning, and because my room was like filled with all these wooden pieces and everything else, my bed was covered, so I couldn't sleep there, so we both crashed on my couch. Here I am editing the video, and I just found this clip that I took at 1 a.m. when my brother's like, let me put a face mask on you. So he's currently putting a face mask on me while I have my whitening teeth strips on. And it was just so funny, his commentary. I'm like, worst sleep I've ever had. Worst sleep. Terrible sleep. Hated it. So now it's Monday morning. I have work at CVS. My brother and I are trying to finish some of it before I have shift. So we wake up, I'm helping him like turn it. We could do the back framing of it, put the top on it, lift it up and attach it to the wall to make sure nothing falls from there. And so we get to that point. The only thing left, my brother needs, like, all that's left is to put the doors up, the hanger or like the pole for the closet, and a few extra things. So I go to work, and my brother leaves like maybe an hour after work or a few hours after I go into work, because he cleaned a little bit more in the house, and I really thank him for that. I have concert tickets for him and so I think we're kind of equal. And so with that being said, like, I'm like, I gotta finish this closet today. Like, it's been a task, and I feel like I could finish this. So, I finish it, then we FaceTime, I'm like, I got it, and, I started, like, trying to put, like, clothes and stuff in there, but I've been pretty tired with work. Monday, I decided to put the shelves on, so I put the doors on to finish the thing, but I haven't put any clothes in there. I started finding some plastics I have around the house that can help like organize things, and I started like rolling up my skirts and putting them in those bins and anything in between. So that's what I did on Tuesday, and yeah, I decided today I didn't get to do anything because I started shift at 8:35 in the morning, and I got off at 7, and then I just finished cooking. I did two things. I did some appetizers, so I have string cheese, and I wanted to make some mozzarella sticks. So I have no recipe. This is just me BSing it. Came out bomb. So I made some mozzarella sticks, and then I had some nachos. And not just cheese nachos, it was nachos with carne asada with some avocado, like almost a supreme. I think I had some lettuce in there also with the side of strawberries. With my mozzarella sticks, I also had like marinara sauce. And then yeah, I decided to lay in bed a little bit ago, and it's currently I think like 9:30, almost 10 o'clock. So I have shift at 8:35 in the morning tomorrow, and then I don't get off until about 9 o'clock tomorrow p.m. So this was the only time I had a little bit of time to talk before. Hopefully I can edit it tonight. If not tonight, I will edit it Friday night to put it out on Saturday, and hopefully I can get that out. And on Saturday morning before I have shift, hopefully I could record another video so I can get that out this week also, because it's been a long time, and as you can see, it for a reason. But I am now yawning, and that's a sign of me needing to pass out. I am very tired. I have work like crazy all of the days, all of the times. Tomorrow's 3 jobs. But with that being said, thank you for being here with me for another episode, another video, another time here lounging with Lisette. I have my comfy like thing with me, pillow, just melt on it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.